Welcome, everybody. We are grateful to have you all with us today. If you're watching this live, this is the 9th of November, 2021. It's 3:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're off of daylight savings time. And I'm in St. George, Utah. And our host, Gerhard Roof, that you heard a minute ago or will hear, is he's hosting us from up in Orem, Utah, and we have people watching on Zoom and others on Facebook. It'd be interesting to know where some of you folks are from. If we don't already know, just put a little notice to where you're from if you're on Facebook. If you're watching this live, if you're not watching it live, if you're watching it later, then that's not going to be so important. We're going to talk today about the Rootstech Connect 2021 website. This is the website that the Family Search put online in February of this year, 2021. So it's been online now for what, 6-7 months, something like that. And it's a gold mine of information. It's got all kinds of things, 1,500, something like 1,500 different classes and keynote addresses and different talks and so on. And we want to show you a little bit about how to use it. It's worthwhile to remember what it's there, because it'll help you if you're helping somebody else, especially if you're a ward or a stake temple and family history consultant, or if you just want to get started yourself. So that's the subject for today. Now, this is a break from what we've been doing for the last couple of times. We've been talking about Heritage Quest Online. Well, let me click and show you. This is what we're going to be talking about, and then I'll show you the notes here in just a second. This is the information on what we'll be dealing with. The Rootstech Connect website, how you log into it, and you can watch anything without logging in if you want to, but if you do log in, you get some added features. We'll look at the classes and the keynotes that are on there. We'll show you how to do some searching on there to find what you might be interested in. And if you do log in with your own account, which is free, you can set up my playlist, they call it, which will store all the stuff that you might want to watch later. If you find something of interest, you can click on it. There's a button on all these things, and it'll store it there so that you don't have to go look for it again. And then we'll look for some examples on it. Now, the class notes for the class today are on that website that you're seeing in the middle of the screen there, UVTAGG, that's Utah Valley Technology and Genealogy Group.org/classes/dons-classes.html. That is where the notes for this class are stored, and we'll look at those because they're available on there. Now, Gerhard, our host, usually posts a PDF of those, and he's probably already done it on both the Zoom chat as well as on the Facebook comments window, so that you can download it from there. But they're always on that website, which is my website, that they're always updated there. Each time I teach a class, I put the links on there. And there's notes, and there's all the class notes are on there, and recent videos or links to all those and so on. Okay, now let's take a break. Let me do a control here and get over to my notes. Okay, now let me get this. Now I use a reverse color here. I'm going to click on this thing, which is a free extension, which I find very helpful because it reverses the colors, and my macular degeneration is causing problems, and I can see it lots easier if it's white print on black background. But you're used to seeing it this way, so I just switched it. It's a free extension if you want to put it on. It's on Chrome on there. So this is the class notes page with the information and so on. I'm going to scroll down a little ways. There's links on there to where you can watch these classes on Facebook and on Zoom, etc. Classes coming up, and here's the one that's number 1 here. That's today's date, written in International Date format. Today's the 9th of November, and we're going to be talking about the Rootstech Connect website. Now, in the next couple of weeks, well, 2 weeks, I guess it's 2 weeks from now, it's the weekend, the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, we'll go back to discussing Heritage Quest Online again with censuses and so on. And then in December, we'll do another one on the newspapers and obituaries that are on there. And by the way, if you watched our class from 2 weeks ago, the one on Heritage Quest Online, the link that I give you in my notes works. But if you try to get into Heritage Quest Online through a family history center, it does not work. For some reason, the portal is down. I did not know that, but somebody called me during the week and said the whole thing seems to be down. But when we checked, the website is still there, but you just can't get to it through the family history portal. So get to it through the link that I gave you that's in those notes that's on there. Okay, so now I've got the notes for today on the Rootstech Connect. I've already clicked on that, but if you do click on it, here's what it'll look like, the Rootstech Connect notes. Here's the abstract of what we're going to be talking about, and you might want to take time to read that sometime, but we won't take time now. Here's the welcome and the introduction and what we're doing, and there's my URL, my email address. If any of you want to write me later with a question or something, I'll be glad to try and answer it for you. The problem for today is what's on the Rootstech Connect website and how do you use it? Then we're going to, now the reason I'm showing you this stuff now is because there's much more detail here than what we can do in the half an hour that we're going to do on this class. And so I want to just tell you that the links are all, the information is all here. We'll look at the Rootstech Connect, the program itself, which was entirely virtual this year. It was in February. I think it was, the dates are in here, February, I think it was the 25th to the 27th or something like that, from Salt Lake City. But of course, with it online, it doesn't make a difference where it's from. And all the people that gave talks, and there were over 1,500 classes and talks. Those were all pre-recorded. So they were shown, and they're on there now, and you can still see all those by clicking on any one of them. The live Rootstech grew to something like 30,000 people attending, and each one had to pay over $100 and plus, travel and all this stuff. They decided that with the COVID problem, they'd do the whole thing virtually, and it was a major success. They had over, I think somebody said 1.5 million people that watched this thing. Their official list is 1.2 million. I'll give you a link to that later on. From over 240 countries. It was actually 242. My son-in-law works for Family Search, and he gave me some exact figures on some of these. There's only 250 something countries in the whole world. So it reached nearly every country in the world, and many of them were in their language. It was live during the 3 days. There's the days for it. And at that time, they put all the classes online so that they were then available on demand from then on, so that you could watch them all year. They said in advance, this will be online all year until 2022, till the next Rootstech, and then that will take its place on here. We'll look at the Rootstech Connect website itself. The problem was the engineers, the Family Search engineers, had to build the website themselves because it was going to be so large. They had no idea how many people to expect. My son-in-law tells me that they said, well, maybe we'll get 100,000. And Elder Bednar of the Quorum of the 12 said, no, think bigger. They said, well, maybe 200,000, maybe 300,000. No, think bigger. They kept going up to about 500,000. Elder Bednar said, think millions. And they did have over 1 million people that signed on this thing. And it was completely free, and it still is. So this tells you about the website and a little bit about what's going on with it. It had information on, as you see down here, information about history, customs, food, and traditions from many different countries. The whole idea was connect. How do you connect people together, whether it's families with your deceased ancestors, or whether it's people from here now. And so it's got lots of good stuff on there. It's a helpful website for parents if they're helping their kids with history or with trying to figure out food dishes, or there's recipes on there from the foreign countries and so on. Anyway, we'll talk more about some of this stuff as we look at the details of the website itself, but the details are on here. Here's my playlist. That's what it's called, my playlist. If you sign up for an account, which is free, you get a playlist, which allows you to store whichever ones you want to watch later, or to just keep track of. And it's very easy. There's a link, a little button that you click on anything and it'll save it to your playlist. The biggest problem is you can't organize those. I ended up with bunches of stuff in my playlist, and I had so many it was too hard to find them all. I'll show you the playlist here in a minute. We'll talk about a little bit about signing in. You can sign in with a Family Search account or with a separate account. And at the time of the live broadcast, when you signed in, you could link those two accounts, your Family Search account. If you were a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you had a Family Search account. Or if you were not a member, but you signed up for one of the free Family Search accounts, you could link that account to your Rootstech account. And then they had a way of showing how you were related to other attendees of the conference, and that was kind of fun. But that was only during the time of the conference itself. The class sessions most of them were short. They were only about 20 minutes long, some 5 minutes, some 20 minutes. A couple were longer than that, but most of them were about 20 minutes, maximum half of an hour. And then there were series, depending on if you were interested in something like DNA or something, it'd be a whole series of them. And those were all together, and there's information there on the different sorts of things on that. This is that relatives at Rootstech. That you could click on that and see how many people you were related to. What they did is they took your relationship from Family Search, Family Tree, and checked to see how you were related to other people that had signed up on that same thing. And it kept increasing during the 3 days. And it turned out, by item 35 here, it turned out by the end, I was related to 110,000 people that were attending it. And, and about 1 out of every 10 people was one of my relatives, at least 10 generations back on there. I don't know what that shows, except that I'm old and know a lot of people and have a lot of relatives interested in family history on it. Languages and translations. You can watch any of the classes. Most of them were in English, but there were, I think, 11 or 12 other languages that were actually classes given in. You can watch any of those classes with subtitles in bunches of other languages. And I'll show you a way that you can figure out how to do that so that you can watch them. And on my class that I taught, I showed how that using the Google Translate feature, you can translate all my notes. Like if you want to see these notes today in French, there's a way you can do it. You just copy the URL at the top, slap it into Google Translate, and then everything that you look at, all these notes are translated into French, and it's not too bad a translation. It's certainly readable and understandable, and there's lots of different languages that are available in there. Then for members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, there were special parts and special talks, and Elder and Sister Holland of the Quorum of the 12 gave a wonderful presentation about growing up here in the St. George area. He's from up in Washington, or not Washington, but Pine Valley, and descendant of William Snow. That's Erastus Snow's brother. And Pat is from Enterprise, which is down here. And they gave a wonderful presentation about what it was like growing up down here. There's a lot of things we didn't discuss and won't take time to, and there's links here. If you're interested in food, click on this one that's got about food. If you're interested in my hometown, which could be anybody's hometown, click on that one, and traditions and so on. There's the conclusions down here at the end. And this I want to finish later with this last item down here, this item 57. That's a Rootstech note about Rootstech 2022, but it summarizes what happened in this one, in the Rootstech 2021. Let's go back up near the top where the link is to the Rootstech. Here it is. I'm going to hold down the control key while I click on that so that it'll open Rootstech in a new tab. This is the new tab. This is the tab that you get as you open it up. That's Jen Allen. She's the one that's the director of it, and still is, has been for a number of years, and still is. Up across the top here, you see Home, Guide Me, Sessions, My Playlist, Expo Hall, and Sign In, and so on. Right here, this big white button is, let's see if I got this reversed. Maybe let me double check and make sure I get it so that it's the way you're used to seeing it. Yeah, it's set for normal. So this is the way it, whoops, I didn't mean to click to get there. I wanted to get back. Well, let me, oh, I guess I just didn't jump down here. This button right here says website tutorial. If you click on that, you get all kinds of good information about the tutorial about this, and that's been on there, but few people actually know about it. I clicked on it, so it's opening up, and here is the different short videos about the different parts of it. Learn how to use the Rootstech site. There's the home page, and you see over here there's a button that says view the session, and so you can view it from there. Here's the next one down here is Guide Me, and there's another in View the Session. Here's one on Explore the Sessions and View the Session. And all of these things are about how you use My Playlist and so on down here. Here's the Expo Hall. The Expo Hall, they had nearly 100 vendors, and so they did also presentations as well as information about their products. And so all that stuff is recorded and available on here. Here's a list of all the speakers. And so you can get the bios of all the speakers and so on here. This is a demo, discovering living family with relatives at Rootstech. That's the thing that was only running during the time of the conference. And so that's not running anymore. Now, let me, instead of taking time to go through some of those, we'll go back and go through some of those. Let me show you My Playlist. Up here at the top, across where those buttons are, Home, Guide Me, Sessions, and My Playlist, I'm going to click on, well, let's see, I haven't signed in. I'm going to sign in. I may still be signed in because I've been on here before. I guess I'm still signed in now. Yeah, I'm signed in, and now I'm signed in. Now you notice that there are some added buttons down here. You see this thing that says add to my playlist? Because I've signed in, it knows that I'm who I am. And so it will, if I click on that, it will save this particular video to my playlist. So down here, and all these things now, this Guide Me, all of these things have this added button that was not there before because I hadn't signed in before. Okay, now I'm going to click on My Playlist. And so it's going back and it's saying, okay, here's what you've got saved. Now, some of these I saved during the conference, and some of them I saved later on. Here are some sessions that I saved that I thought, oh, these would look worthwhile, that I really ought to go through them. You see this little check in there. If you highlight that, it says, if you click on that, it says remove from your playlist. So if once I've watched it and I decide it's not one I want to keep track of, I can click on that and it will disappear from my playlist. But you can see some of the things that I was interested in and that I kept track of. Here's this one right here on the right. That's my class. It was done in English. You notice that there's English on most of these things. It gives you the language that they were done in. This is my class. I'm going to click on that, and it'll bring up the information. There's the right there in the middle. You see that button right there in the middle? That's the video to watch. It gives you the information about our timelines. That's what my subject was that I recorded for them, showing lives in context. And here's a little bit of a background about it. And then you can cancel the thing or remove it from your playlist if you want to. If you want to watch it, any of these things that you want to watch, you just click on that. So I'm going to click right there, and it's going to start up. Now it opens this thing. I don't know what. I'm going to close this down there. Well, that I was watching it earlier today, so I can move the button back. I'll move the button back over here to the start. They're recorded on YouTube, and so they're available to watch. Any of these things, you can watch them. Should have been 2021. Anyway, you get the idea as to what's going on with it. Now, let me see if I can. Well, let me see if I can. Let me just turn the volume down. I'll let that run in the background because I want to talk about some other things. Let's see, where is that?
John, we didn't get much of that audio. Did you optimize?
Okay, good. Yeah, okay. Now the audio is off. It was on. In fact, if I slide this slider up,
you need to optimize for video clip.
That's okay. I don't. Yeah, I won't bother. Thanks, Gerhard. I don't think I need it because I don't want to play that much on there. Though I might in a minute on something else. I want to show you what you can do with this thing. Notice down here where it says CC. That's closed captioning. Watch what happens if I click on that. Now, what you're seeing here is closed captioning of everything I was saying. I didn't, it just recorded. They did it, they converted it, I guess, with YouTube. And so all the subtitles are on there. Now, those subtitles can be changed so that you can watch those in any language you want to. So if somebody is giving a talk in Portuguese about Portuguese genealogy, but you're interested in listening to it in English or seeing the subtitles in English, you can change those subtitles so that you're watching it. The subtitles will be in English. And it's a wonderful sort of thing. It's all done automatically, so it's not the very greatest thing, but that's awfully close to what I was actually saying as that recorded through there. Okay. Anyway, you get the idea as to what's going on that. Now, let's stop this because I don't want to show that. Oh, that's a picture of that timeline that I did for that the class itself. Let me go back up here, up to the top, and click on. Let's see. Let's go back up here to the home, and so there's that Jen Allen again, and click back over in here. Let's see. I guess I do want to show you part of this. So with part of the. Well, maybe I won't take time. It's already. Well, how's our time going? It's already 5 minutes too. So I think I won't take time to actually play anything more for you, but watch some of these videos because those videos are really helpful to understand how to use this site and what's there. I'm sure that the website this next year, 2022, will be based on this, and it'll have these features, but it'll probably have a lot of additional things besides these features. Now, let me see if I've got, let's go back over here to my notes and see if there's anything else I want to say before I open it up for questions. Again, lots of details. They're in the notes, but they're not, we don't have time to talk about them because I want to keep these classes short. I found that shorter classes work better. There, we talked about my playlist, signing in, class sessions, relative, we talked about all that, translate, we talked about. Let me show you this. Let's see, right here. This is the last item here, item 57 on the notes, info on Rootstech Connect 2022. I'm going to hold down the control key again. I'm going to click on that. So it's going to open that in a new window. Here it is. This is from Family Search. It's this was in July of this year, about the Rootstech Connect 2022. It aims to repeat the success. Now, again, I've got this thing reversed because I can see it better. So let me change it back to the way you're used to looking at it. Here's the normal. Okay. Written by Paul Nauta. He's one of the guys that takes care of sending out all these press releases and all that stuff. He's really knowledgeable about what's going on. If you start reading down here on this stuff, Rootstech or Family Search today announced that, this is back in July, announced that the Rootstech Connect 2022 will take place on March the 3rd through the 5th of 2022 as a fully virtual conference again, fully virtual event. And so he says, after welcoming over 1 million visitors from 240 countries to the 2021 event, Rootstech Connect was the largest in the history of Rootstech, and spectacular proof of humanity's interest in globally in discovering the roots and so on. Read through this because it's got the information about what happened last year and what they're planning on doing this year. And down near the bottom of it is a place that you can scroll down. I'm scrolling on down here. There's a place that you can actually click, how do I register for Rootstech 2022? And there's the place that you can Rootstech now, and you can subscribe for their note that comes out on a regular basis to tell you what's going on the update stuff. But it's completely free, and we need to tell people about this. When people come into a family history center, this is a wonderful resource. How do you get started? Click on one of those get started things. It's just loaded with information on there. Okay, now let's see if we can get back to let's see, I get back to this one. And the class notes we've talked about, we've looked at examples and demos. Are there any questions or comments that you have? We went through that pretty fast, but the notes are detailed and you'll be able to find lots more information in them.
I was wondering,
any comments from anybody? Or Gerhard, is there anything from somebody on Facebook?
Oops, okay.
Go ahead, Marilyn.
I was just going to say, I was wondering, while you have the people there live, they can ask questions, but now
Nothing. Okay. All right. Well,
now that it's over,
you can go back and go over the notes again and see what's there. We've talked about the Rootstech Connect 2021 website. That's still online and will be through March. Classes and keynotes are there. We didn't talk about searching, but there's a search box that you can look for an individual. Whoops, I didn't mean to hit that one. I'm going to go back here. As you can search to find what you're interested in. If you're interested in DNA, type in DNA in the search box and you'll find a whole series of classes about it. If you're interested in using Ancestry, there's a whole series on using Ancestry. If you're interested in MyHeritage, there's a whole series on that, or on dozens of other subjects that you can find the information on there. You can save it. If you sign up for a playlist, then if you sign in yourself, then you get a playlist. You don't have to sign in to watch any of this stuff, but if you do sign in, then you have your playlist that you can sign on to. And we looked at a bunch of examples of this, and there's lots more that we could have talked about. Now, the video of this particular thing that we're doing today, this class, is on Facebook, and it'll be on YouTube, on the UVTag channel. Gerhard will post it on both those places within the next couple of hours. It'll be up there and it'll be available for anybody to watch from there on. Okay, are there any last minute questions that anybody wants to ask before we finish up?
Marilyn, you want to finish your
comments that anybody has that they liked or that they wondered about at Rootstech? And if so, just unmute and ask your question. If you're on Zoom, you can unmute. If you're on Facebook,
Marilyn.
type it in.
I was going to ask if after Rootstech, if you have any contact with people with questions. You
Okay,
provide
well,
knowledge.
anyway, I appreciate you all watching. And
Don,
so
Dan,
we'll be back 2 weeks from now. It's the week
I don't.
after Thanksgiving. We'll go back and pick up on our discussion about Heritage Quest Online again.
I don't think Don.
All
heard
right. Thank you
it
very
was
much
talking.
for all of you watching. Glad to have had you with us.